babushka dolls. I can't stand them. Wanna know why? Because they're so full of themselves. Anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about this. I don't know if you can see that. Get it in focus. It says on there, Cleveland District Road Club 2017 J. Hester Gordano Cup. This is the glass that they give you if you win the Gordano Cup, which in our club is also known as the Meritorious Cup. Over the years, now it's been around for years, since the 50s, some of the winners have gone on to ride for GB and be really successful riders. I was nominated and won the Meritorious Cup in 2017 for my cyclocross season, in which in my first race I came third from last, in my second race I came second from last, and then my last race of the season I managed to come last. And I have actually done one cyclocross race since then, and I came last in that as well. So the only trophy I've ever won for cycling was for getting progressively worse at something. So I've spent most of today filming loads of videos for work on the drums for the lockdown semester that it looks like we've got coming up. Everything from jazz to metal to Afro-Cuban. But I thought I'd enlist the help of a friend of mine today who's a little bit better on Zwift, or knows a bit more about Zwift than I do, to help me in this journey of trying to discover the love of Zwift and turbo training that some people seem to have. But it would appear that she isn't maybe as convinced as I thought she was. So I did an FTP test yesterday, which came at 271 watts, which is okay, but when you consider I'm around about 110 kilos at the minute, works out to about 2.5 watts per kilo, which is pretty below average really. I'd need to be around 90 kilos to get that around 3 watts per kilo, which I'd be well happy with for the Grand Tour if I was around about 3 watts per kilo, nearer 90 kilos, and around about an FTP of 270, 280. With an FTP of about 271, just to give you an idea of where a pro might be, I'd need to weigh 48 kilos to get an FTP watts per kilo of 6 watts per kilo, which is probably around where the pros are riding at the minute. So I'd have to be 48 kilos, which is less than half my weight at the minute. Not going to happen ever. I think there's only one time in your life you're ever at 48 kilos, in my opinion. At the moment, I'm just trying to calibrate Zwift with the trainer because I did an interval session just now, and I've got a Zwift meet up later with Belinda, which I haven't done before. I'm trying this out due to a little bit of instigation from some people on this channel. Patrick, Casey particularly kind of steering me towards trying to organise a meetup, which I think is a great idea, just trying this continued story of trying to fall in love with the turbo. Anyway, I did an interval session this morning, and it just wasn't on erg mode, giving me the resistance that I needed for the real high-end anaerobic kind of efforts that were in this session I planned this morning. So I'm guessing it must be a calibration issue, so I'm trying to work out how to fix that now. The continued Zwift story, the thick plottons, as my father-in-law says. So, just about to join a ride, a meet that I set up with Belinda. I've not done this before, so I don't actually know how I'm supposed to to meet up, but I'm going to have a chat to her on WhatsApp, and she's agreed to film at her end, just have a little chat about what Zwift is for her and stuff, because I'm still on this trying to work out what it means to try and use it. So I better try and call her on WhatsApp and see how I'm supposed to meet up with her using this Zwift companion thing. Okay, oh, join event. Oh my god, yeah. Okay, cool. Perfect. Look at that kit. That is a smashing kit. So how did you get that kit, first of all? Before we get into anything useful, let's get into how you got such a cool looking kit, because I look like I've just stepped out of a Wiggle store or something in my black and orange, and you look like a pro. So what's going on there, Belinda?
Oh, thank you. So I did the Zwift Road Academy, so that's where I got the hat and the jersey from. And then the socks, I think you unlock at level 19, right. 18, 19. And then the bike, I think it was just drops, like just getting drops in, which is like the currency
right
on Zwift.
That's
so
very,
it
does look very cool, yeah, I have to say. That's one thing I have noticed, is the kind of customization that people put into it. It's pretty cool sometimes. What they're wearing looks ace. So do you use Zwift quite a lot then?
I try to, but I do get a bit bored.
Oh,
but I do like being outside.
But you were supposed to be helping me and convincing me with this here, so you'd rather be outside. So you're the same as me. Oh, now I decided to talk just as we hit an incline. So you, I'm going to drop down into my granny ring. So how often do you think you ride a week then, Belinda?
Well, I try to do at least 3 sessions, but at the moment, because my motivation is so low, it's just not happening.
Right.
Probably more like 1 or 2 a week, which is a bit pitiful. But I'm doing more running, so it kind of balances it out.
Okay. And do you tend to do your own rides, or do you train on it, or what's your usual kind of approach?
So I do like doing the workouts because it gives you really good structure, but it's useful to know kind of what your watts are.
Yeah.
So if you're doing a recovery and you feel good, it kind of gives you a watt so you're not pushing too hard. Like
me right now, by the yeah. Yeah, I'm going to just ease off a bit.
Have you got a smart trainer?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've got a, what is it, a Vortex, Tax Vortex. So, yeah, so it's giving me the resistance a little bit. So you got the same, have you?
No, I've just got like a dumb trainer.
Oh, okay. So how do you, how does it work with the watts for you that end then?
So it's basically the same whether I'm going up or downhill on the flat.
Right.
There's no extra resistance. So doing anything like out in Zwift is a lot easier because it's not like I'm actually going uphill.
Okay, so you're just pedalling really?
Yeah.
So you're probably cruising along at the minute, and I'm, after this morning's interval session, I'm certainly feeling it in my legs a little bit, trying to climb up this,
yeah.
Just looks like a bridge. And yes, it's finding it a bit tough. So listen, what do you think I need to do? What would be your tips to try and fall in love with Zwift a bit more?
I'd like to do a lot more group stuff, because if we're doing it with more people or just anyone else, it holds you accountable for actually turning up to the sessions.
Like this, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something I need to get more into. I have to say, I've been tending to, you know, just get on and sort of ride, and you can start and end whenever you want, and it's a bit dull. Oh, I hit the top of that bridge now. Woohoo! But yeah, I can understand that a bit. So, so the group, can you explain to me a little bit about the ABCDE thing? Because I'm still a little bit unclear about that side of things.
So it's kind of like you'd have your race categories in road racing. So like the higher the level, the more, the faster you are, and the higher your ranking.
Right.
So like beginners will start off like category D or E, and then make their way up to A. And A is kind of your pro ranking.
I see, that makes perfect sense. Okay, so really I want to be picking, if I want to go out and do a ride, I need to pick a category that's suitable for the type of ride I want to do. So if I want to do a really easy ride, I want to be in category E. But if I want to kind of put myself under a bit of pressure, what would you say, something like D or C?
It kind of depends on what your FTP is.
Right,
so,
okay.
It's all based on your watts per kilo.
I see, right.
So if you know what that is, it gives you what category you should be in.
I see, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, okay, I know that now. I did an FTP yesterday, so yeah, okay.
How did it go?
Oh, how they all go. It's just unbridled horrificness, really, isn't it? Always. No one ever comes out of an FTP test, you know, feeling like they've had a walk in the park. But yeah, it was okay. 271 watts, but I'm pretty heavy. Nice. Yeah, but I'm heavy at the minute, so works out to be about 2.5 watts per kilo. So it's pretty heavy at the moment. So get the weight down and keep the FTP up. I think I'll be okay. God, how did we end up on this climb again? I thought we were coming down the other side.
Right. Maybe it's just another climb that looks the same.
Maybe.
It's hard to tell.
God, is there any bridge I've ever come across that only goes up? Brilliant.
Yeah, there didn't seem to be a downhill there.
No, well, we went down for like 2 seconds, but there we are. Right. Well, that's brilliant. Thank you, Belinda. Thanks for that advice. So I think we'll turn the cameras off now and try and get my breath back and try and get over this bloody hill. But yeah, thank you for that. I'll catch up with you in a bit. I also spent a bit of time out on my cross bike this week, just bombing around on the mud tracks and on the BMX tracks. generally having a laugh and pretending to be a 12-year-old again. It's kind of like when you used to build ramps out of wood and bricks, you know, and kind of just having a bit of a laugh, really. So I went out for an hour, had a burnout on my cross bike, and then came home, had a glass of milk and a cookie, and pulled the legs off of a dead frog.
Under there somewhere is a front brake. Somewhere. Oh, wow. And then under here somewhere is a rear mech. A front mech, sorry. And a rear mech. Ah, don't get this one, Zwift.
So there we have it. It's been a really solid week. I actually really enjoyed Zwifting. Don't tell anybody. I enjoyed riding with Belinda, chatting to her on WhatsApp. It was a bit like being in a club ride, chatting away to a mate, just without the kind of half-wheeling, constant half-wheeling, and finding out the coffee shop was closed. But I did enjoy that. I've also enjoyed the training sessions that I've done on there as well. So I've actually had a really good week on Zwift. Thoroughly enjoyed going around on the cross bike. It was absolutely brilliant fun. It's been a solid week, but an easy week, because week 1 of each block of 4 is always going to be my easy week. Going to be building over these next 3 weeks into the beginning of February. I've eaten really well this week. I haven't drunk any alcohol. I've eaten really solidly, so it's been a brilliant week. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I feel great, I have to say. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you want to click the subscription here and the bell below here, wherever it is, and leave me a comment and give me a thumbs up to give me a bit of encouragement for this grand tour idea I've got coming up this year, that'd be greatly appreciated. Those of you that do watch constantly, good to see you. Have a great week. Don't forget I love you.